What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we are going to be doing the review on this guy. This is the ZT0452 carbon fiber. This one actually is a sprint run through Going Gear. We'll talk about the differences. Such a beautiful knife. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. All right, so this knife was provided to the channel by a viewer, wonderful gentleman. Definitely go check him out. 2A_Punky_92. The guy is just awesome. A viewer who said, "Hey man, I've got some knives you want to review," and he's just freaking awesome, and I love him for it. So I've got a few more knives that I'm actually going to review from him. Definitely go check him out. Let him know that we thank him for his generosity. And he actually gave a list of knives. He's like, "Hey man, I got some stuff. Hey, you want anything you haven't reviewed? Just let me know and I'll send them to you." And he has a lot of knives that I like already and that I already have. So we have similar taste. This one I was really excited about because this knife has been out for quite a long time, but I've never picked one up. And holy crap, am I impressed. The 0452 it's been ZT's one of their top selling knives, and for good reason. This one, like I said, is an exclusive. So your regular 0452 carbon fiber came in S35VN and a plain titanium back. This one has the blued titanium on the back and is in M390. So that is super cool. You guys know that I love M390. Would I still buy this knife in S35VN? Yes, I would, because I love the design. Now, this is a Dmitry Sinkovich design, which you guys have seen one of his knives on here before. I used to have the 0460, which is a Sinkovich designed. They have an 0460, 0462. The 60 is a little bit bigger, and it had a red and black carbon fiber. Beautiful knife. I believe that Mr. Big Bore Knife and Gear still has that knife to this day because he's the one who bought it from me. Definitely go check him out, by the way. This thing, as you can see, is a big knife. So if you are on the channel, if you're new here, I like the big knives. It's just something that gets my juices flowing. I carry smaller knives, but the ones that are big, I definitely like more. Well, mainly because I have very big hands, and so they usually fit my hand better. This one is so ergonomically wonderful. You guys know that I usually prefer a finger choil, and if this thing had a finger choil, holy moly, mother of pearl, would this thing be an ergonomic wonderland for my hand. And not to say that it's not in this grip. I have got such a good purchase on this thing. It is comfortable. It is just in any way that I handle this, reverse grip. Yeah, we never use that. But if I have to do a reverse draw, all of those grips, this thing feels excellent. There are no hot spots. It's just ergonomically wonderful. And I believe it would be for people who even have smaller hands. If you would like to see a review on this knife for somebody who has smaller hands, Nick Shabazz, everyone knows who Nick Shabazz is. He did a review on this knife, a few years back, and even he said this thing was comfortable. So don't let me having big hands and saying this knife is comfortable fool you, because he said even with his smaller hands, the knife was just as comfortable. And so, yeah, one of the reasons that it's kind of a double-edged sword for me, is because of the pocket clip. The pocket clip you can't feel the pocket clip at all in this knife. It's in the right spot. It's a short pocket clip on a long handle, so that is great. However, one of the only things that I'm really not stoked about is the pocket clip. Yep, it is a loop over deep carry pocket clip. It sits deep enough for me because you guys know I don't care about that. I am just not a fan of this particular pocket clip, the way it looks. This one is a user knife, as you can see. Mr. 2A_Punky_92 uses his knives, and yes, this thing is a user, so it's not perfect, but I am happy and so glad that he uses this knife because it's a user. It's a very sturdy, well-made knife. Of course, ZT. Everybody knows ZT. ZT makes some excellent stuff. It's all USA made, and so that just, that makes all of us happy, right? Because, yeah. So the pocket clip, it's a little less to be desired as far as aesthetically pleasing, but the fact that it's a short, deep carry does kind of, make it ergonomically better. You can see, though, however, these big old screws that stick up. So if you have thicker pants, it's going to be hard to get up in there. So that's going to probably, cause a problem for some. I'm pretty sure you can get different pocket clips for this thing. But all in all, everything else about this knife, I really can't. That's the only things that I can really complain about. The blade shape is awesome. This very attractive swedge. This thing carries out pretty thick on the tip, so you're not going to have to be worrying about a delicate tip. There's not much that you can't do with a blade size like this. The blade length on this thing is 4.1 inches. So, yeah, it's a pocket sword that a lot of people would call it. I carry big knives this size and bigger, so it doesn't bother me. However, yes, it's big, and we'll do some size comparisons in a second. But you're looking at a very well done carbon fiber show scale. Just, ZT does a really good job on their carbon fiber. Nicely chamfered all the way around. The contouring is done really well. The titanium lock side is not milled out, but you also do not have a liner on the carbon fiber side. So that translates into a knife that is, 9.25 inches long, but only weighs like 4.4 ounces. That's a win. That is such a win, because with a 4.1 inch and 4.4 ounces, you're really close to that ounce an inch mark. So I think a lot of people are going to be happy about it. The one thing that puts this knife over the top is the action. This is hands down the best flipper I've ever had, and that is saying a lot, because I have had some very expensive knives. Knives that are just beautifully, wonderfully made, heavy-duty knives, but the freaking flipping action on this knife, it just makes me so happy, and I could not get it out of the pocket. Mr. 2A Punky _92 sent me 3 knives, and this one is one that I just couldn't keep out because of this action. Holy moly, you cannot fail this thing. Technically, I guess you could, but the flipper, the leverage of getting this big blade out there, coupled with the bearings that this thing uses, which of course, like I said, this is a full carbon fiber show scale. So it has a cutout with a washer to house the bearings, and they got it right. Holy crap. Does this thing just make me happy? I like to be able to deploy a knife with a middle finger flick. This one obviously cannot do that. It is a dedicated flipper, but it's so good that I did not care. So if you're looking for a just absolutely best of the best flipping action, I'm telling you, this is one to look out for. Now, I'm sure that there's a lot of other ones out there. But like I said, I've had a lot of knives come through the channel, and this one feels the absolute best. It really, really does. So just take that for what it is. The pivot is cool. It's not like the best looking thing in the world. Kind of looks like a hubcap, but it functions well. This one does have a lock bar insert that doubles as an over travel stop. So really like to see that as well. The pocket clip is reversible to left or right hand carry, so that's going to make the lefties happy. Let's see, because we know this thing is big, see how it compares to some of the other bigger knives. I am going to go ahead and bring out the PM2 just as a size reference that we all know and love, and as you can see, yep, it dwarfs the PM2 as far as the overall length. Let's see, another big knife that I do own and love right now is the Benchmade Crooked River. This is the full-size version. As you can see, pretty close in overall profile and size. What about a big knife that we really know is a big knife? This is the XM24, okay? And look at that. So this thing is just as big, actually just a tad bit longer than the XM24. So yeah, that's going to turn a lot of people off. But if you're watching my channel, I am assuming you like big knives like me, so you kind of are, you're already looking for something like this. It's definitely going to be one of those knives. If you live in a place that you can't carry over a 3-inch blade, then move, as I always say, and get out of that state that doesn't allow for freedom. But, you know, in a place like where I live, opening this knife, coming out of the pocket to open anything is not going to cause a problem unless I'm doing something stupid. A lot of places that is not the case. You whip this bad boy out at a gathering and people are going to run from the hills because they're baby liberal. I'm just sorry. You know, I cut that out. What did I say? I don't know. Anyways, people just get scared of everything nowadays. And I think this knife is so perfect big knife carry because of that 4.4 ounces, the sturdiness of it, the great blade shape, the great ergonomics that just can do a lot. And it's beautiful. I absolutely love this design. Like I said, 9.27 inches overall with a 4.1 inch blade. There's about 160 thousandths on the blade thickness. And it comes down to about 25 thousandths behind the edge with this flat grind here, saber grind. Which is not a laser beam, but let me tell you, yeah, this thing cuts. You've got such a long blade length that you can do just about anything. Now, the handle length for you guys who wear, you know, regular work pants and whatnot, it's not going to be a big deal. If you're wearing some like slacks, you know, where the pockets are a little smaller, this, you know, overall length this way is about 5.17. So fitting into your pocket for the most part is perfectly fine. But if you're wearing those shallower pockets, it might not. This pocket clip, like I said, even though I aesthetically don't like it, does work very well to keep the knife in your pocket and not move around. But of course, when you've got such a long knife, that's not really a huge concern. You know, as far as putting in the pocket, it does have a very, it sticks out, pocket pecker, as Nick Sabaz would say. However, it's still not that bad in the pocket because it's pretty slim this way. And when you have it in your pocket, it's so far down that it really doesn't, you know, it's sitting in your pocket kind of like this. The pocket is, or the pocket clip is straight. And so it's kind of out of the way when you put your hand in your pocket. So it's really not that big of a deal. I think it's actually a very, very nice carry for your guys who like to carry the big stuff. Weight-wise, length-wise, it's just a big, beautiful beast. And we love big, beautiful beasts here on this channel. So that's about all I can say. I mean, because I really can't find anything wrong with this. The fact that this thing's action is so good. If the action on this guy wasn't so, I mean, really almost perfect as far as the flipper, the fall shut, detent being dialed in just amazingly. I don't know. If it wasn't for the perfection that this knife is made in, I don't know if I'd buy it. Now, if you buy this, the standard model as of right now, it's about $240. I do not think that is a stretch at all for a ZT American-made knife with S35 VN, titanium frame lock, running on bearings. I think it's a very competitive price for that knife. This one was a sprint run. Had some extra anodization, big old slab of M390, and when I looked up, it was like $325 for this model. $325 might be pushing it for that particular sprint run. I am not sure what 2A_Punky_92 did pay for this. I'm not sure if he bought it brand new. I can't remember. He probably told me, but I have a horrible memory. But, you know, $325, yeah, that would be kind of hard to swallow for the knife, but I am a huge fan of M390, so I probably still would have paid it after handling it, that's for sure. Probably not before this. Like, I love this knife. I think this knife is done so well. The fact that it's made in America puts it over the top because of the way this thing feels. I'm telling you, if you've never held or experienced one, find a retailer that might have this in stock and get one in hand. I'm telling you, as soon as you flick this thing out, you're going to be like, whoa. I mean, it's an experience all its own to whip this big old 4-inch blade out of there with a superb action. Just, I can't get over it. So that's about it, guys. Just a little bit quick and dirty for the carbon fiber genius that they do on this knife, M390 blade. S35VN on the regular model. It's just a great knife. I highly recommend it. I want one now. That's it. I want one of these because damn. So I love you guys. Go check out I keep saying Second Amendment because that's what that 2A stands for. 2A Punky _92. Go check him out. Follow him on Instagram. Let him know that we appreciate him letting us borrow this knife. Guys, I love you all. You guys have been so awesome. The support has been amazing from this community. People like 2A Punky _92. It just gets me so warm and fuzzy because this community is awesome. I love you all. Please stay tuned for more. We got a lot more coming. Stay safe out there, guys, in this crazy freaking world that we are living in. And we will see you in the next one.